Brownie wants to know, do I ever regret not getting an ag-related degree? It's a good question, and my answer is going to be both yes and no. I know. It can never be easy with me, can it? Stick with me here. For those of you who don't know, I have a Bachelor's of Arts in Bassoon Performance from Kansas State University. If you don't know what a bassoon is, go to this comment, go watch that last video. You'll see me playing that instrument. To be perfectly frank, my degree is not worth the paper it's printed on. And to sum everything up, medical issues cut my music career very short. Just stopped it right in its tracks. I was able to limp through, get my degree, come home, try to heal up, and then after I tried to heal up, it didn't take, still had those problems. My life came crashing down around my head. I didn't know what the heck I was going to do with my life. And after about 4.5 months of staying home, working on the farm, I realized that the mistake wasn't losing my music career. Maybe the mistake was getting into it in the first place. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't have any regrets about learning to play music. It allowed me to go to college on essentially a full ride. And I still play piano to this day. I don't play my cello as much anymore. I can't play the bassoon, but I do enjoy music. It's a skill that I will keep for my entire life, and it's something that I do now just for my own personal pleasure. But there are times where I think an ag degree would have been very beneficial for me, just in terms of being able to grasp conventional farming techniques. Because when I got home, all I knew was some of the bare basics that my dad did. That was it. And that first year and a half, 2 years, something like that, I can't even remember anymore, was just torture for me. Because when I walked into a room and people just started discussing anything farming related, really, planting rates, fertilizer rates, herbicides, stuff like that, I was clueless. I was the dumbest person in the room. Every time. And, well, I don't like that feeling. I hated it. I hated being the dumbest guy in the room. And I bought some books, and I went about the long, torturous task of educating myself. And if I had had a ag degree and, some better background before coming back to the farm, that would have helped a lot. Because I wouldn't have made as many mistakes as I made in my early farm career that, to be honest, set me back a bit because they were boneheaded decisions. I look back, I know it, and I accept it now. But at the same time, it also would have locked me in to the conventional method of doing things, which, to a point, I don't mind. But while I was reading, while I was learning and educating myself, I stumbled into stuff about cover crops and, more no-till things. And I fell down a rabbit hole reading a bunch of different college papers, a bunch of different, research things. And the more I looked into what is now known as regenerative agriculture, the more I liked what I was reading. And not already being tucked inside, just a nice, neat box that, a conventional agriculture degree can sometimes put you in. I was already free to be thinking about things differently. Since I wasn't locked into a process already, I was free to learn about different processes without prejudice. Now, may I still have been that open-minded with an ag degree with, armed with some of the conventional ag knowledge? Possibly. I have always been the kind of person to look for a better way of doing things. But I felt this gave me, not having that standard ag background, actually gave me the freedom to chart my own course in a little bit different manner. And my dad is, he's tried to help, and He's told me a few different times, hey, you're making a mistake. Well, there have been some times where I really wish I would have listened to that. But at the same time, I needed to be left to my own devices to make those mistakes. And they were valuable lessons. More valuable of a lesson, I think, than anything I could have learned in a classroom. There's no school like the one of Hard Knocks. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my philosophizing over my past and what I could have done different. And ultimately why I'm glad I didn't do anything different. As always, thanks for stopping by.